Hello viewers, I'm SB and welcome back to Baba Is You, where I have a critical question for you. The question at the heart of every person's soul. Is level on Baba not fall? I guess not. It's okay. Maybe not. Maybe it's not. Here's the thing. I figured this out. So I was sitting down to start my quote-unquote work day here. Sitting down to start my recording day. And I was watching YouTube videos, and I was just kind of screwing around, not really paying a lot of attention to what I was doing in Baba Is You, and I accidentally solved the puzzle. That's how simple the solution is. Here's the deal. We know that the level is both on Baba and on not Baba. And I took that to mean that there was no way we were going to be able to conditionally apply fall to the level. But here's the thing I didn't think of. Apparently, if the level, this level, is on Baba, then the level is not on Baba. And you might be saying, SB, what the hell are you talking about right now? Here's the deal. Level not on Baba is fall is a very different sentence. It's a very different meaning than level on not Baba is fall, right? So check this out. This doesn't break the world. The level that we are inside of is on Baba and also on not Baba, which means it is not on Baba, so it does not fall. And we can use that, right? We can do a quick cliff is level, and then the level we're inside of is on Baba, but these little baby levels, these little fake baby levels that aren't even real levels, these are not on Baba. And so check it out. And so we get there. The key is just negate each piece of meaning individually until you arrive at the answer you want. And it turns out we didn't even need all of the extra words that they put over here. I sure thought we were probably going to. That seemed like a significant part of the puzzle to me. But no, I guess not. I guess everything's fine. Let's unlock level 6, which is maybe gonna do something. Here's the thing. We need some more objects, probably. We can't really interact with this area just yet, but since we have 2 flags, we could, in theory, use the Baba to push this flag into this door, and then come over here and grab this flag and push it into that door, if we just had a couple of objects that we could use to sink the water. I don't know exactly how we're going to solve that. I doubt that we can get multiple objects out of level 6 here, but help. But help, we need some help. Let's see what level 6 wants to give us. So, okay, this is just a thing you can win. This is not going to give us a new object on the metagmap, but it might give us a new useful path on the metagmap, so we do still need to solve it. Alright, right now this Kiki is fall. That seems very solvable. The flag on Kiki is win, so we gotta get that Kiki over there. Kiki facing rock is weak. That's interesting. Rock is love, and love is rock. And of course the skull is defeat, as it often is. So you really don't want the Kiki to be on that ice facing that rock, because it would be killed by the presence of ice. It's so weak, in fact. But rock is love is rock is causing a strobing effect. So the idea is, how would you get the Kiki to stop there anyway? The skulls don't have collision, right? If we Kiki is fall, Kiki falls all the way through. Okay. Well, we can get the Kiki closer to the edge here with Kiki's push. And then we could, like, push a word down to there somehow? I mean, the only way to do that would be by pushing it through the skulls from the top, which would mean you'd end up with a word in a kind of an awkward spot there. It is not 100% clear to me how you would do it. I guess you would have the Kiki. Boy, that's a tricky one. You would have the Kiki standing on top of 2 words here, and you'd walk in and push the Kiki, and the Kiki has to fall down to here, and then you disable fall and push the... Okay, so how exactly do we make this work? Well, let's start fiddling with it. Let's just start playing. We can do this. We can do this. Alright, so first things first. Kiki needs to be one tile over. Then we need... I guess we don't necessarily need 2 words down there. We just need a thing with collision right here. Anything with collision. But how do we get a thing with collision into that space without blocking up the spaces above it where we definitely need there to not be a thing? It's actually kind of a real problem, because we can't... The way this area is designed, we could easily push a thing into this space. I mean, quote-unquote easily. If we had a thing down here, we could push a thing into this space, but even if we had a thing down here to come down here and manipulate, we still couldn't push into the skull space the way the hedges are designed. So it would have to be... We could do, like... If we keep Kiki is push, if we do like this... Hold on, let me just fiddle around here. I know this is not going to end up being the real solution. I guess we can... Yeah, we can create a stack of words with Kiki is push at the top of it. Not the way I've done this, obviously. We need to retrieve some stuff here. I need to push down here. Alright. So yeah, if we created a string of words above the Kiki is push, then we could just push this down enough until there's one thing here and Kiki there, and the rest of our plunger sort of above that. But if this word is fall, that makes it impossible for us to make Kiki is fall, doesn't it? Yeah, so there's no way to do this the way that I'm talking about doing it, I think. We don't have enough... We don't have pieces to spare. Not enough pieces to spare. I mean, I guess we don't need the second... We don't need the extra Kiki. So if we had it be like... Here, let's shove this over a little bit. We just need the Kiki to be on top of this thing when we enable Kiki is fall. So if you were to... I think we can afford to drop the word push, or... No, Kiki has to be push and fall, right? Because, yeah, we have to be able to push Kiki over, and Kiki has to drop in the same frame. Because if we wait a cycle, we're gonna get Kiki facing rock is destroyed by the presence of ice. Well, that's a problem. So we do actually need all of our words then. Kiki must be push and fall simultaneously, which means... that we can't actually... The Kiki has to be here, not fall. And then we have to push the word fall over such that it shoves the Kiki. Because I can't... There's no other way... There's no way we're going to be able to do this while having Kiki is fall be true prior to the push, right? Because we can't... If we can't put an object with collision here, Kiki must not be fall until, like, the crucial moment. Take that. Yeah, okay, so is there a way to do that? Is there a way for us to execute the push that makes Kiki is fall at the same time that we move the Kiki over onto the ice? No, right? Because in order to do that, it would have to be like Kiki is, and then the word fall is here, and the Kiki is there, and we shove them over in one thing. But that would mean we have to have Kiki is push, which obviously has some issues. So yeah, how are we going to have the Kiki... The Kiki has to be fall before the push then, because we can't build the cross in the place where that would work. Gosh, I hope this level actually ends up providing any value to us at all on the metamap. I'm a little concerned that it might not, to be perfectly honest with you. I mean, like, what could it even do? It's going to have to give us a path that we can use. It's going to have to give us a path that we can use to enter a new area. But I don't know, like, you would expect that it would just give you a path to level 7, right? I guess that's not necessarily a reasonable thing to expect given what beating level 7 accomplished. Yeah, alright, well, let's just hope that it does something useful. And there's no other way to get the Kiki through here, right? I'm not missing anything really obvious. I don't think so. The flag itself does not have collision. We can't move it around to do anything. We can't get any of the words down into the bottom part of the puzzle. So we can't, like, try to build a platform underneath, and even if we could, it wouldn't help, as we mentioned earlier. But I am definitely unclear on how to do this thing. So Kiki has to be pushed in order for us to push the thing over. But I guess Kiki doesn't have to be pushed after that, as long as the word push is retrievable. So what if we made, like, I'm trying to think, if we had Kiki is push right here, and the Kiki there, and the word fall there. Is that... Let me just build it. Let me just build it, because first of all, it's probably not that interesting for you guys to watch me indicate with the cursor, and secondly, I don't know how to figure out what the hell's gonna happen otherwise. So we can use the word... Shoot, it would have to be the word is that pushes the Kiki down, though. That's a little bit of a problem. Because that's the... Well, we can afford to lose one of the Kikis. I don't think we need both of the words Kiki. So let's do this. And then it's like... No, I actually can't do this. Because we would lose another word, pushing the word fall into place. But right, if we had the word fall right here, then when we shoved Kiki, it would break Kiki as push, but not until after the Kiki is pushed, and then Kiki would be fall. And then we could just come back up underneath here and push it back the other way to disable the fall and make Kiki push again. And that would totally solve the problem if we had the word fall in this position, which is a thing I actually can't make happen. Right? I'm pretty sure. Because we have no things to use to batter it down there now. So how would is there a way that we could have done this? We won't be able to move the is once it hits the skull row. So we can't use the is to push the fall down and then move it over to the position it needs to be in. Obviously, I can't afford to push the Kiki down the way I used the other Kiki. So no, there's no way to do this. I think it would work, but I also think that it's not possible. If I used the Kiki to push the word fall down instead. Okay, hold on a second. I think that's like in the neighborhood of the solution. I'm wondering if we can use the word pushed down there in that way to catch the Kiki. Like, maybe the idea is you use Kiki as fall to get Kiki down into the skull row after all. No, I'm not thinking straight. the word push has to stay in this row. So if we catch the Kiki just ends up in the skull. And then we have to push it down one more space somehow, which we cannot do. Okay, so that's not the solution then. There's a different thing that has to be done. We can use that that method of using the words to push things through the skull layer. But it's unfortunately going to end up with, like, Kiki is something here, and then Kiki is something there. And again, it's really important that Kiki not be fall until this moment. And there's no way we can prevent that from being the case if we try to just make a cross of meanings here. Right, because Kiki is push in this spot. I mean, let's make sure, I guess. It turns out I am sometimes, every once in a while, I miss a little something here and there, so I guess it's worth actually doing it just to make sure. So we're going to have to do this in kind of a goofy way to actually get Kiki pushed through. There we go. Although you'd want to do that by pushing the fall. Yeah, we'd want to push... You want the word fall underneath this when that happens? Yeah, see, like, this is also very close in terms of being only one space off of the answer. But unlike previous times where we have not had the answer, but we have been quite close in terms of the number of things to do, this answer is nowhere close, because it doesn't, like, there's no way we could tweak this to actually get the Kiki over. If only there were a way to get the Kiki into that space without turning it. It is weird that they use facing instead of near, right? And it would... Man. Yeah, we really need to have Kiki is fall, right? Yeah. I mean, we could do... So we need Kiki is fall and push. I'm gonna take a step back to that other solution I gave up on and see if I'm maybe just missing a way to do it. We need a way to get Kiki through... Kiki has to get pushed into the row between the skulls, and the word fall, and the word push. All three of them have to end up in that area. But each one of them that we want to push through causes us to place a word in the skull row. And we can only afford to lose 2 words to the skull row. We can lose a Kiki and the word is, because in the skull row the word is still functioning. But I guess... Hold on. Could I use the word fall to do one of the pushes, and then we just come through here and we push the Kiki? I mean, this is not the right order, but right, that lets me move two of the objects into the appropriate row while only losing 1 word. Is it possible to use that to do this the way we want to do it? So it would have to be the setup ends up being fall, push, Kiki, right? That's the thing we're going for. So hold on, does that work? It feels like it actually might. Let me push this out of the way before we and then we're going to figure out that this doesn't work for other reasons, I'm sure. But one problem at a time here. Speaking of problems, I really did not push these in a way that is conducive to doing the thing. Okay. So that, and that. And then we want to push you... Kiki needs to be facing the love. Yeah. And then we come up here. That was the thing I was missing. So we could use one of the 3 words that needs to end up in the row to do one of the pushes. Alright, and then Kiki needs to not be push anymore. Okay, hey, we got there. Hopefully that displayed the value of some slightly more structured thinking about the thing we were doing, because I was able to untangle, or I was able to make myself unmiss the thing I had missed earlier. So that's a problem. It didn't do anything. I mean, it, you know, dandelions and whatever, but that doesn't help me. Not really. So the text is float. We can't use the text to cross the water. Or we can't use the text to sink the water. So how would we get access to that upper area? We could make flag as you. No, we can't. What am I talking about? We could make... We can't make Baba is open. Just trying to figure out if there's a way that we could, there's a way that we could get in control of more bodies, or... we could make... Well... We can make level is flag happen down here, which would give us a lot of things to push into the doors, to break the doors. But I'm not 100% sure. I'm not 100% sure that it's actually helpful. I mean, let's do it. Let's do a thing that we can do to see if we can figure out a way to make it matter. Actually, no, No, this should work, right? We go flag is level, and then... Or level is flag. Oh no, sorry. Level is level. Dummy, it's right there. So you would have to break that somehow, which you cannot do. It is weird, though, that this exists, right? It's definitely for something. We could make level is push doesn't do anything, because these levels are not in a spot that we could really interact with. We could do level is... I mean, that's it. That's it. It's level is push. Or level is flag, which doesn't work. What are you supposed to do next here? If we had more bodies or something, we could... We would need at least one more object. Yeah, like we need 3 objects that can break stuff in order to access level 9. And that is the next thing to do. We've now beaten the first 8 levels here. Baba, carry me over there. So on this one, the word level doesn't exist, right? Right. And then on 8, you can only make the level into Baba or flag. Level is Baba, level is flag, both pretty easy to do. Still not 100% clear to me why love is telly. Yeah, I don't really see... I must be missing something here. But, like, it wouldn't help to make level is love or level is rock, right? Because none of those things... Yeah, none of those things have rules on this map. So even if we did turn the level into one of those, it wouldn't do anything. So... if we make level is Baba right now, then we have a Baba that can run around and push the rules around on this side without having to spend any objects. But what is the value of doing that? I mean, let's do it. Let's start with that. Let's start with level is Baba, and then we'll try to see if we can't figure something out from here. So we have the ability to get down here, but it doesn't, or to get down onto this line, but it doesn't help us because we can't get a body to come pick us up over here, and also, you know, everything else about that. We cannot interfere with Ghost and Baba is you without losing control. We really can't do a whole lot with all these words, actually. And the only thing we can do is move flag is around. Flag is push. So we can make Ghost is open. And That's it. For right now. We can make Ghost is open. That's the only thing we can do. Why is this water here? Why does it matter that there's water here? Even if you sink an object into this water, it doesn't do anything, right? There's no word you could put down here that would be meaningful, unless you somehow managed to make wall is word somewhere, and then you could do like a wall is something off of level is level. Yeah, I don't really see what the point of that is. Okay, so if we turn this back into a flag, we would have to have some other solution for the doors if we wanted to use the flags to sink the water. Man, it feels like I'm missing something pretty significant here. I mean, okay, let's turn this back into a flag for a second. Maybe I'm missing something that we can do with the... Maybe I'm missing something that we can do in this area down here if we have the two flags and we open this up. Let me go grab my cursor just in case. Right, because this is not helping anybody. And then level is not accessible in any way. I mean, okay, so the text is float. The text can go over the water. Is that meaningful? No, not really, because again, like that being below that is. If we did make wall is word somewhere, then wall is push off of that level is level would be quite significant. But we don't really have a lot of the things we would need to make that happen. And we have access to the rules up here for a reason, but it might not be a reason that we yet have access to. It really feels like we should have a ghost, doesn't it? Let me reset this. Was there anything else that we could make? We could make this level... No, there is nothing else we could make this level. It's just Baba. Yeah, okay, well... And this level over here can be... It could be text. That's a thing we haven't done with it. Would that be helpful? How helpful would that be? Okay, you know what? That might be something. If we made this into text, so it was the word level, well, I guess we wouldn't be able to get it to a place where that would matter, though, would we? Because there'd be no way to open this door. We only have one object on this side of the door, so we can't do a push. We can't push the flag in there in any way, unless we could make flag is U end open. I guess that's the value of having ghost and Baba is U and ghost is open at the same time, but again, we need a ghost to take advantage of that. I mean, is there some hidden text or something somewhere that I'm just missing? It feels like we are a little out of options here. If there was a way to access this up here, maybe we could get some more objects. We don't know what's going on in those levels yet. There's no way to get over to this area to the left without sinking the water. Level is push. Level is push is what we need. We need to push levels into the water, I think. So let me have my Baba pick me up. Yeah, we can totally do that. Nope, nope, nope. Don't drop that. Yeah, we can totally still do level is push. I don't know why. You know, Actually moving the levels around on the map, on a meta map, is not really a thing we had done yet, and probably this is explicitly the point of that level with the cliffs, is to get you to think of levels as objects. But this doesn't leave me with a way to get through this door. If only. If only we can make level open. Yeah, we need to open that door and then push some levels into the water to get access to the level area over there. Well, if we made this level Baba, that would not be helpful because it would prevent us from getting access to this. There's no way for us to retrieve the open part of this statement. Let me hold on. So we've turned all of the levels that can be turned into flags, right? We can get the cursor over there, but we can't get Baba over there without breaking this door. Yeah, the meta puzzle's getting a little tricky. I would like to enter the one called Booby Trap, please. And we've determined in the past that when you have two objects on top of each other, well, it doesn't matter. I'm trying to figure out if there's a way that we could like turn one of these into a flag, but probably when we come back to this screen, if it's the case that inside of this level it just said level is flag, it would just be the one flag. It wouldn't maintain the level that is now a flag and then also change the one that is a belt into a flag. So how do we actually... It does seem like level is push is the way you're supposed to deal with the water. That's the reason we have the number of levels that we have. If we could make level is open, it would actually be pretty useful. But if we turned this level, Booby Trap, into text, we would not be able to build level is open over here. Because we would not have a way to open this door. And we would need that to get the level through. So... Again, we have a situation here where we are short one object. It's always heartbreaking. Gosh, I wish I had a ghost. I just need a ghost. Where's a ghost when you need one? Alright, where are we at? We're 33 minutes into the episode. We'll fiddle around with this for another minute or two, and then we'll just go back and work some old world puzzles. So there's no way for us to, even if we could get above here, the only words that we could retrieve would be Baba and is. Yeah, which I guess would be useful. But sadly, we cannot. I still have control of the cursor, but I can't actually do anything with that. It is still super weird to me that cursor is not you. I guess if cursor was you, maybe it would allow the cursor to leave the path. And so that's why they've done that? Seems strange, though. I actually have no idea how you would access these. It must just be the case that after we beat some level, it's going to draw a path that allows the cursor to move through the wall up to these. Because, like, looking at this, even if we could push the walls, that still wouldn't actually give us access to that area. We are definitely supposed to be trying to get through the water right now, right? Yeah, because we did level 8, that's where level 9 is. I'm pretty sure that's what they want. Could we make... No, we cannot make... We cannot make door is level in any way. Boy, I'm probably missing something pretty straightforward here. It often is the case that the thing I've missed is a thing that I just sort of... It's usually the case with this game, I'm finding so far, that the thing I missed is not a thing that was too complicated for me to see, it was a thing that was too simple. Right, like a lot of the time, I've flown past what felt like an insignificant assumption without realizing that the fact that assumption is false is in fact very significant. So when I do this, okay, it does delete the cursor as well. I was kind of curious if that would just leave the cursor floating in space. So if we have to do this, if we go to the effort of doing this, level is push doesn't do anything for us, right? Like, there's no way for us to use the levels to accomplish anything. We can push a level into the water down there, below the word is. But that's not useful. Level is flag doesn't do anything. Level is push doesn't let us open the door. It doesn't let us move anything around in the text area in a way that matters. It would, in theory, allow us to destroy this water with a level, but who cares? Is it possible for that to matter? I mean, I guess it would allow us to do level is push in this column. But no, I don't think that matters. Gosh, a lot would be solved if we could just... Or if we could get the word level over here so we could do level is push and open, that would also make things a lot easier. There's no way to make, damn it. Okay. Walk around the thing. There we go. Even if we could make level as telly, that probably wouldn't. It wouldn't be meaningful. If we made the whole level push, what does that do? Okay, it does let me push the boundaries of the level around. Doesn't really seem very significant. And of course, level is win just makes us instantly win. I mean, if we do some level is push stuff, it doesn't, like, reveal that there's actually space we can move around in one of the edges. No. Interesting that I'm pressing right now and nothing's happening. That's pretty weird, right? Because the text is push and the level is push. You would expect that to allow me to shove all this stuff over. Huh. I don't think it matters, but that's weird. Yeah, you really can only make this level and flag, or Baba and flag. Alright, well, I will fiddle around in there and try to figure out what's going on later, off camera, between this episode and next. In the interim, let's what's the next area? We spent some time in the Forest of Fall. Is the Green Forest number 5? It is. Alright, let's go back to the Deep Forest, and we have a couple of levels open here. What was this? Insulation. Had we done this? This doesn't look familiar to me at all. Okay, so Kiki is push. Skull is skull, and move and swap. We can make a skull, presumably. The whole wall is hot. We can make it stop instead, and Baba is melt, I assume? Baba and text is melt, okay. So we can use the hot wall to destroy text. Skull is skull and move and swap. That seems pretty significant. So if we push the word push into the wall to destroy it, and then we make Kiki his skull, then the skull over here is going to move in and swap out the word swap. And then it's going to push the word swap down, right? And at the same time, this Kiki is going to do some stuff. Yeah, and then it pushes the word swap down and destroys it. Okay. So we have to figure out a way of positioning this Kiki such that when it gets to move for a couple of frames as a magic swapping skull, it does something really useful for us. What would that thing be? I mean, obviously, it'd be really cool if it could just swap a wall tile out of the way. But it's never going to be the case that the Kiki could swap the tile into a place where it would actually matter, right? It's always just going to move it one space. And we cannot... I'm trying to figure out what that up is for. We cannot, under any circumstances, use the up to cause the skull to swap a second... to swap a tile a second time to give it more space? No. In order to use the tile to swap a wall tile, in order to use the skull to swap a wall tile 2 spaces away from its current position, it would have to go through the wall, then walk out and around and hit it again from the side that it hit it from originally. So no, there's no way that we can do that. And we have the ability to make the wall stop instead of hot. I suppose it's also worth noting that there's no way to make skull is up anyway. Yeah, what the hell is this up for? Right, because if we do Kiki as skull, the way we did last time, it's impossible for us to... The only thing we can make up is whatever's above the is. If the wall is stopped, then we really, really have no way out. That's pretty bad. We could use the, I guess, depending on how we position the Kiki, we could use the skull that is made out of the Kiki that's in the thing with us to swap words away from the wall. But how helpful is that? Because, like, we could do Kiki's skull like this, and then Kiki fetches the word skull for us. And then, you know, we in theory could do Kiki is gone, and then skull is up. You know, I don't know what this accomplishes, but it's a thing that can happen. We would have to have the skull fetch the word up as well. And unfortunately, there's... Yeah, we only have 3 cycles where the skull has swaps, so we have to use them pretty carefully. And once we do Kiki's skull, there's no way to undo it. There's no way to pause the skulls. Yeah, I do not even see what we are supposed to... What the step before touch flag is supposed to be. There's no way to use a small amount of swap to get the wall where you need it to be. again, in order for the skull to swap the wall out to a point where we could actually move through it, we would have to, we would either have to have the skull come back and move around the wall piece to hit it from the same side it hit it from initially without ever hitting it from the other side, or we would need the skull to not have swap as it moves back across and then gain swap again on the way back. So it would have to it would have to have swap while going down, then not while going up, and then again while going down, which we cannot do. What we really need it does not help us to change the wall from hot to stop in time to stop this Kiki from destroying the word swap, because moving the word swap out of the corner is as good as destroying it, right? Because there's no way to ever get it back. But if that's the case, why is this area even built this way? If the skull was push and swap, that would be pretty... That'd be pretty interesting. I guess it would probably end up with a hot wall on top of my melting Baba, so probably not so good actually. But yeah, I have no idea what the hell this up is supposed to be for. It doesn't seem like it could ever be useful under any circumstances. The only way I could see it being useful, I guess, is if you had, say, the skull here facing downward, you did a swap... No, never mind. I was going to say, if you did a swap, and then in the cycle where the swap occurred, you made skull is up, so that it immediately turned around and walked out and then came back and was able to hit the wall from the same side again, but... in the cycle where the swap occurs, if you hit up, like by the time the swap has occurred, the skull is already below the wall. So if you do an up, it's just going to swap the wall back into its original position anyway. So yeah, there's... We can't put the Kiki into a position where the Kiki becomes skull can be used to, fiddle with this stuff, can we? Because if we could just make it so the wall was neither hot nor stop, this is real easy, right? No, there's no way to do that. But it is interesting. When would we want the wall to be stop? What is the reason that we would ever want the wall to be stop? They let us toggle it off of hot for a reason, presumably. Maybe the only thing we really want... we could have the skull walk over to here and grab one of the parts of the phrase, maybe? Maybe. Because if we did that, if the skull was swap as it moved through the word win, and then it lost the word swap after doing so, it would then just walk out and then push the word win through the wall on the way back in. That means that we would never interact with this. So it feels wrong, but maybe this is just red herring? Maybe this is just a hot herring? Delicious hot herring. Okay. We only get 3 cycles, though, right? So how would we do that? How would we make that happen? So you push the Kiki to here, and then, do this. That's not gonna be enough time. Yeah, that's one cycle off of enough time. Is there a way that we could fix that? Is there a way that we could make this one cycle tighter? If we... No, there is not. I'm just thinking, like, if we took this all the way down to here... Let's say we do this. See, now we can make Kiki's up before we make Kiki's skull. So maybe that's the idea. You're pushing the Kiki to somewhere, and then executing a Kiki is up, and then making the skull thing happen. But where would be the place that it would actually be helpful to do this? If the wall on this side was not 2 tiles thick, that could be helpful. Because you could create a gap. But it is, right? So... Oops, that's not what I want. Right, like, this doesn't actually accomplish anything. Yeah. The skull is not push, so we can't make the skull move right again after the, We can't make the skull move right again after we convert it to a skull. But we do have to convert it to a skull before it would be useful to push it, because we need the swap to happen. I'm trying to think, is there anywhere else in the puzzle where that's useful? If we... I'm assuming that if we do a swap in this space, nothing happens to the wall, right? A thing that is swap... Yeah, it swaps out things whose spaces it enters, not things whose spaces it's already in. Trying to think, where would it make sense? Like, the only thing that you can really accomplish by with the word up, as far as I can tell, is pushing the Kiki sideways into a wall and then facing it upward. But where does that do anything for us? It kind of seems like the answer is nowhere. So the only other thing I can think is that the word up is to be used to the word up is to be used to do some pushing or something, but we can't really do that because it's in the corner. I don't know on this one. We're just gonna, we're just gonna spend a whole episode not solving anything. How about some of that? We never figured out level 4 here. Maybe we can do that. 4 should be relatively simple, right? It's the 4th one. So we have the word move in the corner. Read is nothing right now, but it will become defeat when we make the door shut, which destroys the door. And nothing else can be opened, so the door, at some point, this does have to get executed. It just has to get executed while we are standing there. Which means we have to assemble some kind of rule here. We gotta assemble some kind of machine here that makes this happen. So, if Baba is move, and we have a belt down here facing to the right... Right? That doesn't seem so tough. Maybe there's something I'm missing here. So what, we wanna push... Because we're gonna have to do belt is push. So we probably just want to push everything into the northern part of the puzzle, right? And then we can build with things as we please over here. This doesn't seem so bad. So we do belt is push for a moment. push this belt to here. Then we Baba is push. Boy, I'm doing a terrible job of sliding the blocks around. There we go. Do Baba is push, just like give us maximum Baba travel time, and then Baba and Is go back across here, and honestly, we could have just moved this belt out of the way if we wanted to. But this seems... Wait, sorry, I gotta maybe plan this a little bit better. So actually, we probably do need to move the other belt, right? Because I need to have more travel time. As it is, we are not gonna make it. Yep, just barely. But we can make a longer path. So we do something like, I mean, the very first, most important thing is belt is push, and then let's build ourselves a path of belts that makes sense here. So it's like, we do need this in the position it was in. And then we have this belt here pointing downward, and we have the Baba. Let me bring these back down. And make sure to move the word push after we're done. Actually, it doesn't. It's going to end up not mattering. There we go. This buys us some additional movement time. So put you right here, facing that way. Again, just a terrible job at the block sliding part of the thing. Be really good if I didn't just move to the wrong place all the time. There we go. Yeah, that one was fairly easy. I assume that I didn't spend a lot of time looking at it last time. Alright, what else do we have over here? Let's see if we can do 13 and open up this last level. Okay, box is weak. Key also weak. We can make key not weak, but box will always be weak. Key is open, door is shut. Box can have key. We just need to, like, have a whole lot of key. So we probably don't want the key to be weak. That feels like a real problem. I mean, if we were to make box has key and box is U, then... that's not really easy to do, is it, though? But that's... I mean, even if that is the idea, it doesn't actually solve anything. Because we can make a lot of keys that way, but we still have to be able to retrieve the keys. Like, we're going to make a lot of keys on the bugs that way. And then we're going to need some way to get those keys out and push them around. And in fact, we can never... Key is not pushable. So... the key has to be U. But all of the boxes have to produce their keys over here. How would we do that, with there being nothing in the puzzle that allows us to move things, other than taking direct control of them, which prevents us from moving them across the bugs? This would be one of those things where you have to be like... I mean, it feels like this is one of those things where you have to do a box has box or a key has key type deal. Although I guess we did learn that you can be on a thing that is defeat. You die from moving onto the thing that is defeat. So yeah, if we did box has key while box is U, then we make the keys on here, and then we would... Boy. So box and key is U. There's no way to do a has then. We can make one of them have door. It's not super useful, but we sure could do it. And what does the weak do for us? We could, in theory, push some words through to the right side of the puzzle to be manipulable by the boxes once we do box end key is you. Does it help us to do that at all? We could make, bug has something, maybe? Bug is defeat. I guess, actually, probably that construction doesn't work, right? Bug is defeat and has thing. We can make bug is weak. Bug is defeat and weak. But no, we need the and to have control of stuff over here. I'm kind of curious, though. If box was defeat and weak, let's just send some stuff over there. Would it still cause defeat? And then we need, like, we had to sacrifice a word here. Just kind of curious. Okay, now we go box is you, and let's see what this actually does. We have to collapse our boxes a little bit. Alright, so... yeah, okay, I guess that's interesting. But then... okay, so the defeat still happens, it just destroys the bugs at the same time. That's interesting. Don't know that it was terribly useful. Because now we can do... right, like this doesn't help us solve very much, unfortunately. That's not what I want. Because we do box has key. But then we just have two keys. And they're on top of each other, which is even worse. Okay, it does not delete... oh, then this actually does work as a solution? Or no, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. Box has key is going to immediately delete the box. Right. No, apparently not. Although there's no way for us to get back out. It's interesting that it creates the box in the space before the space where I died. I'm not 100% clear on why that would be the case. Huh. Okay, well, I mean, we've got some ideas here. Bug is defeat and weak and has... no, that's not going to work. I need these boxes to die on the bugs while having keys. So we don't... we have to not push the word... if we were going to do this and weak thing again to try to clear up at least one space path to walk through, what would be the word that we would push over? Because we need the boxes to have keys when they're destroyed. We need there to be a lot of keys. We need at least 6 keys. Trying to think, is there a way to do this? We can't move the phrase key is you is up. Otherwise we could have the word you be one of the breakers, right? Yeah, the fact the box is weak is a real problem. So there's no way for us to make use of the fact that the space above open is available. We can't make a useful phrase out of that. We can't... I mean, it's going to have to do with taking control of the boxes. right? We have to take control of the boxes, so that means the way we're looking at this, it actually has to be the word has. Because we need box and is and you over here. So yeah, I have no idea. I have no idea on that one. We have another level or two that we should probably look at. The episode's getting a little bit long. Let's quickly look at some more. Just try to clean up one more of these if we can. Hey, I feel like we were pretty close on this one, right? The idea is you push the bugs into the thing and then... So how do we make it safe for Kiki to walk over there? I'm trying to remember what it was we did before, because you do want the bugs to end up in the, Oh no, the bugs don't move. I was trying to, like, you want the bugs to end up in here, but with a word on top of them, so you can't be forced in. But no, you just want words to end up in the corner, or flags, I guess. But this is another one of those things where we run into the problem of objects getting stuck, right? Is there a reason not to use a flag for this? Okay, and then the way things look, though, you're necessarily going to lose bits of meaning. Ooh, this is not ideal. How do I... like this, I guess. Right, wait, does this not just work? Am I not good? Oh, flag's not push anymore, so this isn't going to stop me from... Yeah, you have to use words for all of those parts. You have to use flags to push the words in. So that's... Yeah, okay, I see how this is, like, a little complicated. Because this doesn't work, right? For the reasons that we just... Yeah, for the reasons that we just saw. But you can't have... You can't have a flag in the middle of the phrase do a push. Does it make more sense if I realign it to... I mean, is it going to help at all if I realign it to vertical? It's not, right? Because you still end up with this core problem of the corner. Oops, that's not what I wanted to do. Wait, how did I even think this was going to work? We need to use the flag to... Yeah, once we do this, the word is stuck. Well, I see why I didn't finish this. At first, I was thinking this is another one where we had, like, basically solved the entire thing. I guess... Oh, actually, hold on. You can totally use a flag for this one. We can lose a flag this way. I go through and I push the word win through now. Yeah, hold on. I have to do this in such a way that I don't stick the word is against the wall unretrievably, though. Okay, and now it doesn't matter if the flags are push anymore. Hey, look at that. We got another one. Wait, gotta do this a little bit more carefully than that. There you go. And let's have a look at 12 as well. Lock the door. That's exactly the opposite of what I am always trying to do. Okay, I do vaguely remember this. So, what you really need to do here, it feels a little bit like that reed and door puzzle, where we need to be in this area already by the time this push occurs, except that it doesn't seem like there's a way to do that, because nothing in this puzzle moves. So then the other thing you could do is just try to move the fungus out of the way, I suppose. But with push and shift, you're not going to be able to get anything into the space the fungus is in without it facing to the right. So how would you... Because if you could get something into the fungus's space that is facing left and then make that thing shift, that still doesn't even solve the problem. You would need to be able to shift it twice. Yeah, interesting. I have no idea what to do here. Probably much as I did last time we were here. Bug is bug and belt is belt. Those are not redefinable. Yeah, I guess that would make it pretty easy, huh? If you could make one of them Baba. And then text is float, but I have no idea what that's supposed to accomplish. It does make it impossible to move the text around with the belt, which I don't think could possibly be helpful, but it is removed from the realm of possibility, at least. I suppose the other thing you could do here is you could try to move the love outside of its room, past the fungus, so that even if the fungus becomes defeat, it doesn't prevent you from accessing it, but there's absolutely no way to do that. So, with this bug and this belt, and we can retrieve the belt quite easily by just making the bug not push, right? And then you make the belt push, and then you got yourself a belt, a manipulable belt, except it's impossible for me to push this word for some reason. But, like, what does this do? What does this do for us? How is this helpful? We couldn't even use it to move the text down in the corner. I mean, what would be the point? Maybe the idea is you have to... Maybe there's a way that we could move something under the word fungus, and then... I was trying to think, if there's a way to move the word love without moving the word fungus, that would certainly solve our problem. But I don't think there is. Anything that's push... In theory, you could get a thing underneath the word fungus while it isn't push somehow, using shift, and then you could make it push and have it move to the right, and it wouldn't move the word fungus, but it would move the word love. But we don't have any way to make a thing move itself to the right, right? And making a thing shift while it's under the text won't do anything because the text is float. Float is still a weird property. Float is still a property that is unintuitive to me, is maybe what I should actually say. So if we retrieved the bug somehow, and we had both of them, we can make belt as shift, push the belt, or push the bug onto the belt, and we can make bug is push, move it here while the belt is nothing, then make belt shift while the bug is nothing, and it would get underneath the word fungus. But that doesn't actually do very much for us. Well, okay, no. If we were able to get... Because Baba can be shift. If we were able to get all of the objects, both of the other objects here, and we were able to get them both underneath the word fungus, and we made one of them push and the other one shift, it would move the word love over without moving the word fungus over. That actually totally would work. And the way we would do that is by getting them both into the same space, making neither of them push, and then making Baba shift. So in order to do that, we have to figure out a way of retrieving the bug, which is done by making Baba actually, this shouldn't be too bad, right? If the bug's not push and Baba is shift, I can just walk up behind it and then do this. Yeah, that's like super doable. And then no, actually we're fine. Actually, this is still how we want things to be. I need you to get out of the way. Wait, why does that push the word fungus? Nothing here is... Neither the bug nor the belt are push, so shouldn't they not be colliding with the floating words? Huh. Okay. Let me hold on. I must be misunderstanding something. Okay, right. Words are always push. It's not the thing that pushes that has the push trait. It's the thing that is pushed. Okay. Well, that doesn't help anything then. That turns out not to be a solution. I don't know why how I was able to get that backwards after all of this time working with things that are push. It's always the thing that is pushed that has the trait, not the thing that does the pushing, because Baba almost never is push. So, then what? What does that mean? It's easy enough for us to retrieve the belt and the bug. I guess we may as well start by doing that. I'm sure it's not going to be harmful for us to acquire our objects. Right, and this should be... Oh, the bug needs to not be push at this moment. Alright. And then we can even re-separate them easily. Okay, so now, given all of the objects... Is there a way... There is not a way to get any of these things to be in the same space as any of the words down there without... If we did some pushing while things are shift... I'm trying to remember. We have definitely managed to make it the case that words ended up on top of us while we were pushing them at the wall before, but I'm trying to remember how exactly that worked. Let's Baba is shift. Because there are some weird properties of shift, right? So let's just shove a bunch of stuff out of the way here. I guess there are all these trees that I was just kind of taking as background elements that actually might end up being meaningful somehow. Just trying to think. So we can get on top of that stuff. Now, making belt shift isn't going to push those things into the spaces of the words, right? Because the words have collision. So yeah, there's no way we're going to be able to shove anything. Even if we did shove things under the words, it wouldn't do anything, I don't think. But I'm out of ideas, if you couldn't tell. And apparently, it is beneficial to me to retry the physical properties of things, because I sometimes misremember them. Well, I have no idea how we're going to solve this one, but I do know that eventually we are. That is us out of time for today. We kind of got some things accomplished, a little bit. When you come back next time, tomorrow, I'm going to have some idea what we're supposed to be doing in meta next. Maybe. There's like a 60% chance I'm going to have some idea what to do next in meta. So come back for that, and we'll see you then.